die Verbrennung der Amerikaner.
What is up, my gorgeous mates of YouTube? In today's video, we're going to be looking at Versace Eros, the Eau de Toilette, and comparing it to 3 other fragrances that are very similar, and finding out which one is best. But before that, my fragrance of the day, and that is Who is Elijah's Haze. Smoky, woody, and sweet. This is very quickly rising up the ranks and entering my top 10 favorite fragrances of all time. I got so many compliments for this today, it's actually kind of ridiculous. Again, Who is Elijah make exclusively unisex, vegan and cruelty-free fragrances. They're an Aussie brand, so if you've got any love for Australia, get out there, find a couple of Who is Elijah fragrances and give them a crack, give them a try. You're not going to regret it, especially if you love daring, almost challenging fragrances. Haze is an amazing place to start if you like smoky, edgy scents, so check it out. Versace Eros. What can we say about this scent that hasn't been said before? It's an icon in the men's perfumery game, and as far as like entry-level good quality scents go for teenagers and young men, this is a very, very solid place to start. In fact, it'd be one of the best. The Eau de Toilette in particular just represents amazing value, and on a lot of people's skin, it performs better than the Eau de Parfum and even the Parfum version. All you've got to do is go on YouTube for, a couple of minutes and do your own research, and you'll find out that the Eau de Toilette is the best version of the fragrance, in most people's opinion. You get a huge dose of vanilla, you get that almost spearmint type mint note, and it's quite aromatic and green as well. It's very delicious smelling, and the performance is incredible. So that's why it gets so much love from men under the age of 25. What I love about Versace Eros is the performance and then the compliments as well. So, what fragrances are similar to Versace Eros and are also coming in at a cheaper price point? Let's have a look at a couple today. Let's start off with the absolute cheapest one, and you can find this at Chemist Warehouse for $19 for 30 ml of the fragrance, and that is French Connection Pour Homme. Or if you take off the sleeve, French Connection Pour Homme is actually a pretty decent fragrance for the price. I picked this up one day for $19 at Chemist Warehouse just because it was by the counter, and I'm like, 19 bucks for a fragrance, may as well give it a crack. Just have a look at the bottle. It's pretty basic, but it is one of French Connection's better smelling scents. Atomizer isn't the strongest. It's more aromatic than Versace Eros. It's even more green, less minty, less of that vanilla sweetness. But it's still comparable to Eros. It doesn't have the smoothness or the creaminess that Eros does. French Connection Pour Homme is going to offer you a similar sort of style fragrance. It's very youthful, it's bright, aromatic. You get citrus and woods in this one as well, where in Eros you don't really get a whole lot of those notes. But it's still in sort of the style of an Eros fragrance. Highly recommend it, especially at that low price point. Next up, I'm going to recommend a highly underrated fragrance, and that is Guess 1981 Los Angeles. This is a flanker of 1981, and in my opinion, it is actually better than 1981. I like how unique 1981 is with that sort of like wet concrete, wet cement type of vibe, but this, as far as like a clone, but 1981 Los Angeles is just, it's a great smelling fragrance at a significantly lower price than Eros. I got this bottle for $25 from Priceline. It's only 30 ml, but it's only $5 more expensive than French Connection Pour Homme for the same amount of fragrance. Instantly, it reminds you of Eros. It's got the vanilla, it's got that warm spicy quality, it's got a hint of those green notes. It's not as citrus forward or as aromatic as French Connection Pour Homme, but it's a lot closer to Versace Eros. I chucked on 1981 Los Angeles after I showered at about 7 o'clock, and even at 1 in the morning, I was still awake. Yeah, I was still awake at 1 a.m. Guilty as charged. It still was performing like a beast. I mean, I could smell it on my my Duna cover. Very, very close to Eros. Not quite as smooth, not quite as creamy. It's not as refined. But man, does it get you close. If you can afford the extra $5, I would highly recommend 1981 Los Angeles over French Connection Pour Homme. But if you're after a more aromatic take on Eros, I would recommend French Connection Pour Homme. But man, this smells amazing. And the next fragrance, at about $60 to $70 Australian, depending on where you purchase it, Jean Paul Gaultier Le Male. This is an icon. It's a 90s fragrance, but somehow it still smells so modern, so contemporary, and I'm pretty confident that's because of the vanilla note here. It's presented in such an attractive, sexy way. It's going to be amazing. If you're after positive attention, this may be even better than Eros. You can wear it in all the same situations you would wear Eros in, at the club, going out for drinks. It's just such a solid fragrance for grabbing positive attention. Vanilla, a little bit of mint, a little bit of warm spice. It's pretty close to Eros, but it's not as in your face as Eros. It's not as bright as Eros. But man, an absolutely iconic men's fragrance. This will get you just as much compliments as Eros, if not more. And the quality is here as well, in a way that it isn't with French Connection Pour Homme or 1981 Los Angeles. You're not paying that much less than Versace Eros, but if you're after a slightly more mature take on Eros, you want something that's similar to Eros but a little more mature, go with Jean Paul Gaultier's Le Male. It's an incredible scent. It's going to get you monstrous compliments. That's almost a guarantee. And yeah, those are just 3 other fragrances that are similar to Versace Eros. I recommend all of them. Even French Connection Pour Homme is a pretty solid option if you're over the age of 25, you want another more mature take on it. Every fragrance I've recommended today deserves a place in a man's collection if you're after a fragrance similar to Versace Eros. But it should be said that Versace Eros is one of the best selling fragrances for a reason. It's an absolute beast of a scent. Incredible, smooth, vanilla-y, warm, iconic. Very versatile as well. But Le Male may have it beat in terms of versatility just because it's slightly fresher. Anyways, if you've ever worn these scents before, let me know in the comments below. I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say. Until the next video, my name is Aussie Marcel, and I'll catch you guys around.